Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Long Distance Playbook. Today is the 20th of September. We have a special show for y'all today. First off, we're going to do a personal shout out on the show. One of the co-founders, named Matt Mangum, recently passed due to cancer. He's been a friend, a brother, a mentor to me for the last 35 years. And he kind of, me and him kind of helped build this show. And thanks to Chris, really got the show taken off. And then, of course, we got Jay involved. But unfortunately, he lost his battle with cancer this past Wednesday. And that's all I have right now. We're going to start off with this week's shout-outs. Germany. Congratulations. They won the FIBA Eurobasket. Some things that happened last Saturday now. Terrence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez. That's a topic we very well may get back to. Another one. They announced the WNBA Rookie of the Year, and that made UConn become the first school in history where the NBA and the WNBA both won the Rookie of the Year from the same school.
I think you meant to say Rookie of the Year and NBA Player of the
There
Year.
we go. Thank you, Chris. All right. Is Jay on?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. We got you. All right, so we're going to talk our first topic today. Like I said, we're going to re-engage that Terrence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez. Gentlemen, I have a question for y'all. Where does Terrence Crawford rank all time among welterweights? And does his resume back up the claim for pound best of his era?
His resume, you gotta understand, he's been picked on his whole boxing career. People always say he didn't fight nobody. But I think, for a guy who's unified he won three unified titles from multiple different levels. I think he boxed somebody. Give him man his credit. Hey, Bud did his thing. He showed he's a boxer. So for me, I think that was, he's going down in history as one of the best. That's what I believe.
Jay, what's your thoughts about Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez?
Well, for one, I was very happy we got it. In today's boxing, it's not like it was back in the the Hearns, the Ray, Sugar Ray Leonard era. There was no double dodge back then. Everybody was to fight for the best, to prove that he was the best. So it was definitely great for fight fans that are old enough to remember. Hey, we're gonna have a good competition, and they're not 40, 45 years old. They're in their 30s, and they're actually having a fight. It was great for boxing. I thought.
I agree. What separates Crawford though from all the elite fighters, right? So you got Pacquiao, you got Mayweather, you got Oscar De La Hoya, right? What separates Crawford from these? Is it his ring IQ? What is it, guys? I can't put me. I
Well,
can't put a finger on
well, right now there's only one boxer that can be ranked ahead of him, and that's Floyd. But he's quickly creeping up on Floyd. You know, there's only been two boxers in all of boxing that are undefeated. If he retired today, he's gonna be known as either one beat or two behind Crawford. That's my opinion. I think that because of the simple fact that he's undefeated. Everybody that he's been put in the ring with, he put him down. He won basically. Um, you know, pound for pound, he's undefeated, bro. That's number one. You got what? Welterweight, lightweight, right? And nobody wants to box it. You see what I'm saying? Here's another key. He beat a guy that was bigger than him. Handily beat him.
Jay?
Yes. So for me, Crawford had that ability of not being hit while he's hitting you. Type of magic that Floyd Mayweather had. But for me, Crawford has more power than Mayweather had. And you know, both of them have not lost a fight. So to me, it just seems that when you talk about punching power, it doesn't matter. And you can see the knockout reflect that on Crawford's resume. So for me, that's his secret weapon, so to speak. Where yeah, he can go the distance with you if he has to go the distance. But you know what? If you're not prepared, if you think that you're just going to come in and just not be on that night, he'll finish you early. That's just the way that Crawford has that ability to end fights if he has to.
All right. So Chris and Jay, both y'all mentioned Floyd Mayweather, right? All right. So we know that when Mayweather started off, he was pretty boy, and then he escalated to become Money Mayweather, right? My is Crawford, is he undermarketed? Do you think? Because at Mayweather's career, by this time in Mayweather's career, right? Mayweather was fighting high dollar fights and getting paid high dollar, right? Crawford fought a high dollar fight with Alvarez, but he didn't get paid. Canelo got that money. So, is it marketing? What do y'all think it is, guys?
Well, I think it's more. It just it's not marketing because he's marketable. He's been marketable. He just never in his career because he was such a challenge. Nobody wanted to fight him. They didn't want to take an L from him. So I applaud Canelo for taking the fight in general. You know, so when you looking at it, like this guy's fought, I can't think of his name, the guy from Dallas that had the accident, right? He's been a statesman of boxing. He's been putting forth all the things that you want to do to be a great boxer and be a great ambassador of the sport. So I just think that he was being very hidden. You know, like I'm not gonna fight him because if he beat me, you know, he's gonna move up. So what you got on that, Jay?
To piggyback off what you just said, being afraid to fight someone in this social media driven climate that we're in. Back in the 80s, 90s, you could fight somebody and not everybody see the fight. Or they see the fight and no one was recording fights like this back then. If you get knocked out, you get made, you got knocked silly or whatever, they're going to keep playing it on Sports Center. They're going to be, playing it on Fox Sports News. You have YouTube. You can your kids. You have kids now. Your teenagers got to go to school, and hey, your pops got knocked out last night. What's going on? You know what I mean? It's a different climate. Like, do I really want to? Like, I'm a good mindset. I'm a good fighter. Okay, I can beat the average or below average. I can stay in my lane. My family, they pump me up. They make me feel like I'm Superman, whatever. I don't really have to worry about that ridicule that I would get if I do fight somebody who is a little bit better than me. And then, they put you on Front Street. Everywhere you go to the supermarket, you go anywhere. Everybody got, YouTube on their phone. And they know what happened to you when you didn't wake up until after they started cleaning out the locker rooms and that's a little embarrassing. And I think that's probably why it took a little bit of why some boxers don't want to fight certain boxers anymore, because they are afraid of scrutiny of this person might end their career. No one's going to see me box again because I got embarrassed by somebody either as big a boxer as I am or even better than me.
Okay. Do you guys think that this fight with Canelo Alvarez put him and a Terrence Crawford, I'm talking about, right? Do you think they put Terrence Crawford in a different spotlight than where he was before?
For me, obviously, yes. It's about when you want to be that top fighter or looked upon as being one of the greats, you got to be great. You have to have a formidable foe that is like, okay, probably 5 people throughout time in history beat this guy. Not just talking about just in today's era. We're talking about like, hey, Canelo Alvarez is probably one of the greatest fighters in his weight class. You could probably say that. So if you're able to beat him and fight him where he does have his skills, his skills haven't diminished to a point where they're saying that okay, well, Joe Louis lost to Rocky Marciano. Louis was so old. He don't have his prime then. We're talking about two fighters, and they're still in their 30s, they're still in their prime. Look, he beat the guy that he collapsed to going into the fight. There was enough people thinking that Canelo Alvarez was probably going to beat him. So that puts him into that elite talk about welterweights.
I don't agree with you 100%. 100% I don't agree. And here's my reason. If you're scared to fight the man, it's not his fault. He's putting the challenges out. Nobody wanted to get in the ring with him. If you had a belt, they ran from it. I give credit to Canelo, Earl, that was his name, Earl, who actually stepped up for the challenge. He took less money just to get the fight and proved that he's currently the best in the world. So it's not to me, it's not is he going to Is he one of the greats? He is one of the greats. You gotta put him up top. You gotta put him up there with Floyd, right? The guy hasn't lost a fight. No, let's say that again. Has not lost a fight. And then he just fought a man that was bigger than him and beat him handily. I don't know if you didn't watch the fight or didn't watch the highlights or whatever you missed. He take a punch and land a bomb. I will tell you, Canelo got a big chin because that joker took some big shots. I'll tell you, and look, I ain't no boxer. That man would have hit me how he hit Canelo, I'd have quit. I'd have been going to the car.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know. That's my take on it.
Nah. Well, we're gonna move on from boxing. It was a great fight, and once again, congratulations to Terrence Crawford. But now we're gonna move over to the WNBA semifinal is starting tomorrow. You got two matchups. You got Minnesota versus Phoenix. You got Las Vegas versus Indiana. Jay, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I know everybody was going to be, I guess going into the season, everybody was very, very excited about the new look of WNBA. What teams were going to represent. You have rising stars now. And with that being said, everybody was trying to either you were a Caitlin Clark fan or you were like, hey, she's just all hype, da-da-da-da. But, Indiana has gone pretty far. And it would have been nice if, she was, out in the forefront. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, the hype is there, but it would have been nice if it was, you know what I mean? if, the old regime that's in the WNBA is like they're trying to keep that stranglehold on the league, but you got the youngins coming in that's trying to take the shine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a proponent. I love it that the NBA is pushing women's basketball. I wish there was more contract equality, or at least paying them more money. Because a lot of people don't know the women basketball players are almost playing all year round. So they're playing in the summer in the States, and they're going overseas and playing during their own basketball season in other countries just to make money. So I think, they're about 2-3 decades too late in pushing women's sports. I think that, what they're doing right now, that's a start. You have a lot of, this ain't the first time that the WNBA had a lot of marketable talent. This is not the first time. You had the Rebecca Lobos and
Cheryl Swoops.
Lisa Leslie.
They were there. Don't just think about it. Y'all do realize that probably one of the best female basketball players that ever played never got to play in the WNBA. Cheryl Miller. So I'm glad they put it on. They put it on national televised TV. it will give people, my daughters, an opportunity to see women on TV playing sports. You don't see that often. Well, not growing up. When I grew up, you didn't see that often. You got all these professional sports for women. You know, and they're doing a good job. Hey, let them be. They play basketball just like men play basketball. They dunking basketballs now in the WNBA. So what's the difference, right?
So just offhand, WNBA is probably what, 20 years running, probably, right? A little bit older than 20 years.
Give or take.
This is the second stint, really.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is, even if you look at the NBA, NFL, within the first 20 years of their deception, the players weren't making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They just weren't. It took 30, 40 years for them to finally get that money from the owners. You know how it is. I guess Bird and Magic were the first $1 million black players. I think 81, something like that.
No, it wasn't Bird and Magic.
You said what?
It wasn't Bird and Magic.
Yeah. And their games weren't televised. Most of them weren't televised.
They were
going I don't know. There has to be some kind of progression or some kind of hero or villain in the WNBA to get them to do that next level. Like they need some kind of like conflict between superstars to bring in the eyeballs and say like, yo, we gotta see this because it's not just on the floor, but these two might take it off the floor type of deal. But even the popularity of the NBA went to a new height when you started having kind of like a conflict of players. There's a little underlying story. This person could have started this particular team, went to another team, started winning, and all of a sudden, there's a storyline that goes back to it. That brings in not just your casual fan, but people that kind of like a little drunk to go with their sports.
Yeah, you're right about that. A lot of it is, I got a little note, and a lot of it is revenue. They got to start. They're building revenue, and you, like you said, you gotta have the good guy in the villain or the good girl in the villain. You don't know how that's going to turn or who that's going to be. They have to step. Somebody's going to have to step in and say, "Hey, this is my league," like Cheryl Swoops did in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. And you got, all these teams that are, don't get me wrong, you have the star power now, and they're starting to get paid, but the pay is so diverse from the star to the regular, the role players. In basketball, everybody's not a role player, really. They have to play. Yeah. So, but if you start to pay them what they're worth, there's teams out there actually having positive revenue with their fans. So it's just got to keep growing.
Yeah.
I think that's good thing to do.
Yeah, I remember the big thing about the NBA back in the 70s and 80s, what a lot of the 2000 people were saying, oh, they were just plumbers back then. Well, yeah, they weren't paid enough, so they had to have plumbers. And also NBA players. That was it was a true statement.
Yes. No, I agree. I think the WNBA is headed in the right direction. We still got to put the right players in the league. But I think it takes us sports shows to kind of talk about it, right? Kind of highlight it and give them some publicity because they work hard. They put the hours in. So
Oh, that's definitely they it's you can tell the difference between WNBA basketball in the first 10 years and what it has become today. A lot of resources have gone into the training. A lot of resources have gone into the coaching, and you know it's a big deal, and it's good to see that where you're getting quality coaching. You get quality coaching, you make an average player a good player, a great player. So if a player has that want, that drive, and they get put in the right direction, then it's going to reflect to the court. And then when you put on a good product, you're going to see that product.
yeah. And I think one of the key those y'all mentioned the I guess the villain. You know, you got to have a villain, and you got to have a redeemer in the league, right? But I think the key thing is you're going to have the villain and the redeemer make it to the playoffs and face each other.
Oh yeah.
So I think until that happens, right? Because you was talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Until they beat the playoffs, it's just they don't like each other. You know?
Yeah.
So
there has to be something at stake. You know what I'm saying? There has to be something on the line where, this is what competition is about.
yes.
So right now,
We're talking about competition.
So right now, wait for soccer is going on, and I think soccer is the #1 sport in the world, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken.
It's
Look,
much sport.
just a little gut punch. It's not American football. It's not the NBA. It's not baseball. It's soccer. And
What's the #1 revenue team in all sports in the world?
It's not the Cowboys. It's definitely not them.
It's either Real Madrid or
Barcelona.
So with that being said, an American football team is a top 10.
Yeah, but they're not #1. You gotta understand. You gotta understand, sir.
They're in the conversation.
You gotta understand, sir. You gotta understand.
20 years ago,
Still wasn't.
So what's going to happen in the next 20 years?
There is more eyes. There is more eyes, more players, and more leagues than the NFL. The NFL will never account to that kind of money. And they play more than one time a week. Never.
I get that there's more leagues, but how about
they have a lot of quality leagues. They have a lot of quality leagues. You can't you look when you say, look, here's the thing. What's the percentage of players in the United States that get to the NFL? It's less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, with all these leagues, right, that number does grow up of more than 1%, but they don't get to the Champions League. Those are the guys who getting paid. They get paid more than the doggone football players, right? Right now, you got your guy in France, right? They paid that dude so much money to stay in France. He got offered something like $500 million to go to Saudi.
Cristiano.
Yeah, no, Mbappe.
Mbappe. Yeah.
So when you sit there, you telling me in 20 years, the NFL will be making more money than soccer.
Do you know how much the NFL has made in the last year or two? Matter of fact, they said each season the revenue of the NFL was $300 billion.
Okay. So I'm looking it up right now.
And it's going to grow.
I'm going to look it up right now.
There's no flopping in the NFL. I'm just going to put that out there.
It was $23 billion.
So
23 billion.
But besides dollars,
so
Hold
we have to look
on.
to see
Hold
what
on.
other league has brought in
Hold on.
I'm curious.
23 billion.
So I'm curious about what soccer league brings in that amount of money.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad
Soccer
you
league, not
No, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. What is the revenue of UEFA champion? 29 billion. And look, hold on.
So keeping that in perspective,
That's not
how
counting.
many years has soccer league been together?
which league is that, Chris?
Say what?
You said that was the Champions League?
Yeah.
So Champions League.
Yeah.
The Champions League is not set teams. The Champions League.
I was about to go there. You
Yeah.
jumped to my point. So when you sit there, the Champions Leagues are the champions of every country at their highest Bundesliga level get called up into the Champions League where they have to stay up there, and they can't be the worst team because they drop back down to the lower back to their country's league. So you got like 3 teams that sits at 29 million annually. Teams now, 29 million annually, right? Now, when you start talking about the league, the Champions League is a select few. Then you have your first Bundesliga in each country, right? They have to win that in order to go up to the Champions League, right? So they have to have the same kind of funding to do that. So when I sit here and tell you there is no way NFL will ever surpass soccer as the #1 sport in the world, or revenue-wise.
I think they will pass the Champions League.
They will not. They will not.
All right, hey, gentlemen, with that, let's get ready for our first commercial break. We'll be back with you after this. All right.
So, man, what we've been waiting on, right? We got
Absolutely.
college football. College football. Game 1. Fight! So we got our first game we're going to talk about today is Miami versus Florida.
You know my relatives in Florida, right?
So Florida gonna win, right? Somebody in Florida gonna win. That what you
Well,
telling
I've
me?
been telling you, come on, man. I tried to say this last week. You didn't want to listen. If you coming down to my neck of the woods, all right, man, I'm with you. I'm fucking with that. I'm not gonna hold you.
No, it's on you.
What am I doing?
It's on you.
I did tell you last week about Florida. And I told you all about other schools about Florida. I'm gonna get into it. Miami. I said that my boy from Georgia has something to prove. That the way that things were left off, and I think more people are starting coming around to Mr. Beck. That he's going to handle his business. Miami at home, they're going to continue that streak. I'm telling you. What do you think, Chris?
Well, it's up to DJ Lagway. If he come out there and play like he finished last year, and put that South Florida game behind him, it's gonna be a game. I can already tell you. I'm not knocking Carson Beck. I think that was the best thing he could have did was change schools. He had to reinvent himself, but like I said last week, he went from a top 10 pick to day 3 to undrafted free agent last year. So that was a smart thing for him to go back and rebuild himself. And so far, he's doing a great job. But let's see what he do tonight. Then he got to face, after that, he got to face Florida State. I'm just saying. What you got on that there, Mr. Mason?
Look, a lot of people are already giving Miami the win. Okay? And rightfully so. However, people got to understand this is a huge in-state rivalry. Always has been, always will be. No matter what other team's records there are, right? Miami is fighting to show that they are one of the dominant teams, not just in college football, but in the ACC. And they're trying to stay relevant year in and year out. Okay? But people can't overlook Florida. Yes, their record might not be where it needs to be, but they're still fighting, right? And any team that's fighting that does have SEC talent, you can't, Miami just can't overlook Florida. Okay? Because if they overlook Florida can win this game if Miami looks too far ahead. Florida's defense has got to be the factor in this game. If Florida's defense doesn't show up, Miami's winning it. I'm taking Miami all day, but that's my two.
Well, I didn't even get the pick. I'm sorry, my bad. I broke the chain to man. I like DJ Blackway late. If this game is a blowout, Miami wins. If this game comes down to the last possession, I think it's gonna be Florida.
Hey, over the last 2 weeks, Florida has averaged 13 points.
I get it.
Chris, Um, so you think 13 points is going to be enough for Florida to win this?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking with you.
I told you, if you pay attention to what I just said, if this game's going to be a blowout, Miami wins. If this game come down to that last possession, Florida. I think they just have too many athletes on offense that they're going to score. And it's like I said, it's up to DJ Lightweight. So,
He got Texas next.
Yeah. Oh well, that's not a, right now. That's a oops. But Jay, what you think about the Illinois Indiana game?
Mm. I like to see these two teams. Two teams that they showed up into the playoffs last season. They started off this season pretty good, which is nice because the main thing you don't want to see with teams that aren't your basic Michigan and Alabama and your usual suspects. When you have teams that flash in there like that, Illinois and Indiana, they're both 3-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're proving that hey, it's just not a one-time thing, one-hit wonder. So I think Indiana's going to get them. That run game is really good. They play great defense. I think they're going to be able to shut down Illinois in this Midwest competition game. It's going to be nice. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Definitely, they're not going to blow them out. I think Indiana's going to win them. They'll take it.
Amazing.
Jay, I hear what you're saying. I like both teams, and absolutely 100%. They both made a name for themselves last season. Let's see how well that translates to this season. I'd like to see those smaller. Because when you say Illinois and Indiana, right, you don't really think about football. Right? Think basketball, right? So here we are talking about two undefeated teams that are predominantly basketball schools in football season, which is great. Right? Gives you some talking topics. Let's see. The factor is going to be how well can Illinois run the ball. All right? If Illinois pounds, pressures, starts getting yardage early and continues to run that ball, it's going to be a problem for Indiana's defense. But I think Illinois' running the ball is going to be the factor. If Indiana shuts that down, I don't see Illinois having the passing game to truly keep up and beat Indiana. They're really evenly matched as far as talent-wise. There's not big talent goes to these schools for football.
What? What?
They get some talent, but you're not getting Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. You're not getting
more talent basketball team than their football team. We'll just say that. But it's funny you did say that they're evenly matched. Mendoza, Indiana quarterback, 708 yards. Illinois quarterback, 709 yards. Yards per game, 236 for Mendoza for Indiana, 236 for Illinois. 8 touchdowns for Illinois quarterback, and 9 touchdowns for Indiana.
Yes.
That's crazy.
They're very evenly matched. So it's going to be a tale of both worlds, right? And I'm going to take Illinois on this one.
Okay, so that leaves me, right?
Yes, sir.
That leaves me. Hey, where I'm from?
St. Louis?
Yeah. I'm from the east side.
Yeah.
The Illinois side. All day.
Okay.
All day. Right? And here's my reasoning. what a lot of people starting to forget, right, is South Carolina was on a winning streak when they went to that bowl game against Illinois. Illinois slowed them down, and they beat them, right? Indiana, they lived in the transfer portal last year and this year. Illinois recruited. Do you know that I think his name is I can't pronounce his name, but he was one of the top quarterbacks that people were going after to try to get transferred. He stayed at Illinois, didn't take an NIL deal. They have the same team that they had last year, this year. So you talking about a veteran team. Now, I remember you saying last week about I can't think of the team, but they had one of the most experienced offensive line in college football.
Yeah.
Right? Illinois is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole country. Not the conference, the whole country. That line been together a long time. So I think it's going to be close, and I think Illinois is going to take it all day, every day.
I'm the lone wolf.
We're not.
Yes,
we not just a basketball school. We play football too.
Oh, I like that. Hey guys, next we got Ole Miss versus Tulane. Think about this. All right. Ole Miss SEC school. They've got some leaders on the opposite side. However, Tulane is missing some depth as well. Okay. You can't overlook this game. Tulane's undefeated. All right. Tulane has nothing to lose. Okay. When I say that, if they lose this game, it's okay. They're expected to lose. People are expecting Ole Miss to win this game. Okay. However, if Tulane wins this game, right? Then that's just hey, Tulane went in, played a good game, beat a good team. Ole Miss, what happened? Right? So that's going to be your talking topics, right? I think Ole Miss's offense is too much. I don't think Tulane can match with their explosiveness. I'm going to take Ole Miss. Jay, what you got?
I'll be tempted to say that Mississippi is the best team on the planet, which we all know they're not. They have the flaws, like some of the, 4th or 5th team in the SEC type of deal. We know that they're not the top team. We know they're not as good as some of the other teams in the SEC, but the record says the record says that they want to compete for an SEC title. They think that they can knock off LSU next week because they have LSU next week. You know LSU is 3-0. So you know what? They're looking at LSU like we're gonna be 4-0 in the playoff next week. We're at home, home cooking. Why wouldn't Ole Miss overlook? Why would they overlook today? This is a classic trap, right?
It is.
So with that being said, Tulane upsets Ole Miss today. They will upset.
Oh, wow.
And it might be one of those double overtime games where it's just it goes off the rails. Tulane is like in the game, and then all of a sudden they go by 2 touchdowns, and Ole Miss has to come back, and they finally get back to the game over double overtime. Something freakish happened at the end, but I think Mississippi is going to lose this game because they're looking at LSU next week.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Chris, what you got on?
Ole Miss, let's go. Next topic. We ain't even gonna discuss it.
You said who?
Ole Miss. Let's go. Next topic. We ain't even gonna discuss.
All right, Chris. Chris, what you got? The next one we're gonna do Michigan and
Nebraska. Danny Rhino and what's the quarterback name in Michigan? They finally got into the top 25, I see. So, with a young quarterback, I don't know. There's a lot of talent that left Michigan last year. I don't know. I kind of like Danny Rhino. I think he's a budding star in Nebraska. They just need to add a little bit more talent around him. They need to add more talent, number one. So if they can get that talent, I think we might have something cooking in Nebraska, right? But I'm gonna go with Michigan. I think the experience of the coaching staff, and they still have just enough elderly talent. I'm gonna say elderly because they're older. That's gonna get them through. Run the ball. Hey, look, I'm telling you, if I can rush for 200 yards a game, I shouldn't lose. Yes, I am.
Look, I think this game has got very little upset potential whatsoever. Okay? Michigan is going to dominate both sides of the line. Nebraska, the only way they can win is if they force turnovers. They have to force turnovers in order to win. I'm taking Michigan.
Okay, so I'm a huge Michigan fan. That's my team. And like I said before, Indiana, Illinois, they're basketball schools. Michigan is a football school. They play football. Guess what? Michigan's going to show Nebraska. Tom Osborne is not there for it. You don't have those old legends Hall of Famers in that squad. Michigan. That's what I'm going.
Okay.
You want to start on the next one, Jay?
Yeah. Okay, I got the next one. Texas Tech at the Utah Utes. For me, the best team in Utah is Utah. Texas Tech is trying to, they're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to get to that conversation that they want to be a ranked team that has a chance to make playoffs. I think by the end of the day, no one's going to talk about Texas Tech.
Oh, wow.
So Utah will take care of them, and no one's going to talk about Texas Tech. What do you think, Chris?
Utah in a close one. Utah in a close one.
You said Utah in the closing?
In a close one.
A close game.
Gotcha.
I think Utah has more experience. They've been in high profile games. So for them, this is not really. I think the only problem I see with them is they possibly can overlook them because this is one of them rarities that they're actually both teams are ranked. Utah has been commonly ranked, but Texas Tech not so much. We might have another TCU coming with Texas Tech. You never know. Base?
Look. All right. So you got high potential upset. You got somewhere in the middle, and then you got low, right? I put this game somewhere in the middle, and reason being is because Utah's defense has been banged up the last couple of weeks. Now Texas's Texas quarterback health is always a question, but the difference between the two is Utah is more physical. Okay, Texas Tech plays more spread offense, so they can minimize injuries. Texas Tech's offense can spark some big plays. They got some receivers out there, and you can get loose and make a big play every now and then, right? Utah's defense is going to be the key on this. As long as they can stay healthy, and they can, and Utah's offense can use the run game to wear down Texas Tech because they're not as physical as Utah is. Then that will be your game. I'm taking Utah.
Utah is given up an average of 8 points a game this season.
Mm-hmm. That's why I took Utah. I'm using top points, but I'm taking the winner.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good game.
Come on, man. You on? What you got for me?
For the next one?
Next one, what you got for me? What you got for me?
We got South Carolina, Missouri next, right? This is a middle class upset. This is two SEC teams trying to establish something for this season. Right? There's not many SEC teams that hasn't a loss. Unfortunately, my Alabama team does. But conference play overall. But Missouri right now I think is the most healthiest team. They have fewer injuries, I think, than South Carolina does. South Carolina is too inconsistent. I think if they would have been able to keep the guy that went to where to go, Georgia Tech last year, then I think South Carolina team would be a different team. Missouri plays a more balanced football than South Carolina does. I'm taking Missouri.
Okay. I see Missouri. Missouri is averaging almost 50 points a game this year. I've seen this song and dance from South Carolina before. They act like they want to play, they don't want to play. Not in the SEC, you can't do that. Can't take weeks off in the SEC. And I think this is going to be one of those weeks we're just going to take this week off. We really don't want to go to Missouri. I mean, sorry, Chris. Some people just don't want to go to St. Louis, Missouri. They don't want to be in Missouri. They just want to stay in South Carolina. And they're going to play like this week in Missouri. What you got, Chris?
Well, Sellers is questionable, actually. So a lot of people, that's going to hinge on what you're going to choose. If Sellers play, I think South Carolina wins. Sellers don't play, Missouri going to roll. They gonna roll. Hey, we can show me. You gonna show me something. So I'm from the land of Lincoln, though. So I'm just saying. I'm only 3 hours from Columbia, Missouri, where the campus of the University of Missouri is. But I think, like I said, if Sellers play. That wide receiver is too dang on fast, bro. That boy got Olympic speed. You can't cover him one-on-one. And you can't leave him by himself because he's going for it. So that's the key. If Sellers play, I think they win. All right? So, I get the good one. Auburn and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
We got Sooners against the War Eagles. All the Tigers. Oh, man. I'm gonna go on a limb on this. I'm gonna get out on the limb a little bit. I'm going with Auburn. I think they're more physical. They're more SEC hungry than the outspoken speed team of Oklahoma. Oklahoma wants to move ball, throw the ball, and they got to learn how to put that ball on the ground a little bit. Run it, slow the game down. You get random. You do realize, like in the game, right? If you throw the ball 3 times and 3 incompletions, right, you got to punt, right?
Yeah.
That's normal. That's normal, right? 3 incompletions and a punt. You can't do that in the SEC. You got to get yards. You got to put that ball on the ground. You got to, hey, that's grown man now. That's what we call in the Big Ten, grown man. You come to the Big Ten, you better know how to run the ball a little bit. Because if you can't, you're going to lose.
Yeah, Oklahoma has fallen into these type of games where the defense just doesn't show up. And they might be better than the team, and they just give up chunks of plays. And Auburn, they have their running back Cobb. He take over a game, and it's demoralizing to have a running back that is just getting chunks of yards early. If that happens, and which it could possibly happen in Oklahoma, it's going to have to somehow slow down the pace of the game. Just because you score a touchdown, you get to put your defense right back in the field. That's the problem. So I have Oklahoma winning this game, but at some point they're going to have to run the ball and keep their defense off the field. What do you think, Mason?
Look, Oklahoma is known for running a lot of plays. Okay? Up-tempo offense. They've got speed. I think that they are, and they don't play each other very often. Now, they probably will in the future, right? Because Oklahoma's new to the SEC. But let's see. I think Oklahoma's more balanced than Auburn is. I think Auburn lacks the offensive firepower needed to really keep up with a high-scoring offensive threat that Oklahoma has. Auburn's defense is going to be the determining factor, obviously. They can slow Oklahoma, if they can cause turnovers, and that puts this ball game into a whole other perspective, right? But I'm taking Oklahoma.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go on a little 3-minute commercial break. We'll see y'all back in 3 minutes. We're back. Now we get into the nitty gritty. So, get into that NFL talk right now. We got about 25 minutes. We're going to move on to the special segment of the show. All right. Well, we already know, just so we understand, because the game did come on Thursday, we're going to just highlight that game real quick. Miami and Buffalo. Miami won 31-21. Looks a little bit like Tua starting to wake up. You know, he's starting to realize we're playing football already. He's putting up points now, a little bit. But that Josh Allen is just too much to deal with, right? So, what's your take on the game? And actually, Buffalo played a well-balanced game. It wasn't like they just Josh Allen to death. I think it was well-balanced. What you think?
Look, I'll go ahead and say I got to watch the game. First time in a long time I've watched a Thursday night football game. Living in Germany, currently in Alabama, and I enjoyed that. But Miami's defense got a lot of issues. And there was times where Tua looked hesitant on the offense. There was times where he looked great, right? Like you said, Chris, he looked like he woke up to play football. I think they got to get a little bit better, get the run game going. Buffalo, there was times where they were playing lackadaisy defense, and Miami wound up making a quick score. So Buffalo's got to tighten that up if they want to stay the dominant on the AFC side, because if they play that last defense, because better teams are going to lose. Jay?
Yeah, to me, I think it's a big deal. Chris made a statement about Tua. Hey, man, football season started. A lot of times, you know, he's from Hawaii, right?
Yeah,
He is.
So maybe that time difference, maybe he's still, in that Hawaii time zone, the East Coast is messing with him. Jet lag, I don't know. It's just, he looked a whole lot better this week. And maybe it might be moving forward, but you're 0-3, coach is going to get fired. I know, I'm a 49ers fan. I'm waiting for, we got our DC back for Robert Saleh. We might get McDaniel back mid-November.
Hey, why are we talking about San Francisco?
Because I'm a 49ers fan.
We ain't talking about that.
But yeah, McDaniel. I told you about the other day. That coach fired. He's almost there. Don't worry about it. But I'm telling you, Mike Dolphins. If they haven't hit the panic yet, by next week they gonna be looking elsewhere. This is a problem for the Miami Dolphins. They have the talent. They're supposed to be putting up points consistently. They're playing good defense, and they haven't been doing that this year. 0-3 is a bad place to start. And 0-3 is almost a you're not going to make the playoffs. The stats support that if you go 0-2, you have a hard time making the playoffs. 0-3, a lot of stuff has to happen to make the playoffs.
Unless you're in the NFC South.
There you go. Yes.
Next one. Come on, Jay.
All right. I'm surprised he said, you see what Chris is doing, man. Chris knows that he's a Rams fan, and he wants to make sure he has, he don't want to go first.
I didn't do that.
I got you, man. You know
man. You
what?
know what?
I'm gonna
I'm
say
gonna say
this:
this:
the
the
Rams are a
Rams
good
are a good
team.
team.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
make you
gonna make you
mad.
mad.
I
I
know
know
you want to you want
you
that
want that
reassurance that your
reassurance that your
team
team
is
is
very
very
good.
good.
So
So
yes,
yes,
the
the
Rams are
Rams
very
are very
good.
good.
Devontae
Devontae
Adams is
Adams
still
is
like
still like
Devontae
Devontae
Adams.
Adams.
You know what?
You know
They're a
what?
good
They're a good
team,
team,
but they
but
ain't
they
got
ain't
that
got that
push
push
power,
power,
baby.
baby.
They said that
That illegal
Jalen Hurts
that
has more
has more
tush
push
pushes
pushes
than I
than
think
I think
passes over
passes over
20 yards
20
or
yards or
something like
something
that
like
this
that this
season.
season. I
With
think
that being
with that
said,
being said,
I still
I
got
still
Philly
got
winning
Philly
the
winning
game.
the
I
game.
think
I
they're
think they're
finally gonna
finally
break
going to
out
break out
and
and
realize that
realize that
hey,
hey,
we need
we
to
need to
play a full
play a full
game.
game.
And I
And
think
I
that if
think
we
that
win
if we
against
win
the
against the
Rams, I
Rams,
think
I think
Barkley has a
Barkley has
huge
a huge
game.
game.
Philadelphia wins
Philadelphia
this
wins
thing.
this thing. Okay, so I am a diehard Rams fan, and yes, I am all Rams. I think that the hardest part is going to be that you have two good offenses and two good defenses, right? So I can't go against my boys, man. Sorry. I think the gunslinger behind center. He can move that ball quickly. The Rams shut down their run game a little bit. I think this we're gonna have another uh, NFC divisional game like this past winter, but no snow, no snow. Right? This is gonna be a close one. Rams, Rams.
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 Okay. All
Okay. All
right. All
right.
right.
All right.
Look,
Look,
look.
look. The
Rams
Rams
have
have
very,
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 very
very
good
good
offensive
offensive
firepower.
firepower.
Okay.
Okay,
No
no
questions
questions
about that.
about that.
They
They
struggled with
struggled with
Tennessee
Tennessee
last week.
last week.
They
They
did.
did.
They did.
They
But
did. But
Philly's got a
Philly's got a
defense.
defense.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
you got
you got
running
running
backs
backs
on
on
both
both
ends.
ends.
I think
I think
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts
is,
is,
once
once
again,
again,
he is
he
going to
is going to
be.
be.
I think
I
he's
think he's
the one
the
to
one to
focus on
focus on
still,
still,
right?
right?
Because he
Because
can
he
be
can
that
be
dual
that
threat
dual threat
quarterback. Matt
quarterback. Matt
Stafford,
Stafford.
sorry,
Sorry,
I don't
I
really
don't
have to
really
worry
have to
about
worry
him
about him
taking off
taking
with the
off with the
ball,
ball,
right?
right?
Um,
Um,
hey,
hey
Chris,
Chris,
who
who
won
won
between the
between the
Eagles and the
Eagles and the
Rams last
Rams
year in the
last year in the
playoffs?
playoffs? Eagles did in the last second.
All right,
All right,
let's
let's
take it to the
take it to the
Eagles.
Eagles. See, look, even the poor guy didn't like that. The Mike, he ain't like that.
Huh?
Huh?
You said, okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey, let's move
Let's
on.
move on.
We've got, huh? You said, hold on.
He already said who he had. He says he has the Eagles. Eagles.
Yes. I said, I'm going with the Eagles. So, all right. So the Commanders versus the
Versus the
Raiders.
Raiders.
Big news. Jalen Daniels not starting this game. Okay.
Okay.
To
To
me,
me,
that
that
that definitely
definitely
hurts them.
hurts
I know
them. I know
Marcus
Marcus
Mariota
Mariota
is the
is the
backup,
backup,
but
but
he's a
he's a
backup for a
backup for a
reason.
reason.
Okay.
Okay.
The
The
Raiders, I
Raiders, I
think,
think,
is
is
a
a
more
more
complete
complete
team
team
without
without
Jalen
Jalen
Daniels
Daniels
compared to Washington,
Washington,
right?
right?
Because Gino knows how
Knows
that
how that
offense
offense
runs and
runs
everything
and
else
everything else
down in
down in
Vegas.
Vegas.
I'm not saying
Not saying
Marcus
Marcus
Mariota
Mariota
is a
is a
bad
bad
quarterback.
quarterback.
He's just not
He's just not
Jalen
Jalen
Daniels,
Daniels.
okay?
Okay.
And
And
when
when
it's
it's
an
an
injury
injury
and
and
you
you
haven't
haven't
really
really
gotten
gotten
to
to
prepare
prepare
like
like
Marcus
Marcus
Mariota
Mariota
has, because
has,
Marcus Mariota probably thought, oh, I'm going to be a backup for this
for this
season,
season.
and I'm not going to get much playing time, if any, right?
Right?
Um,
Um,
the Commanders'
Commander's
defense is
defense is
nice.
nice.
They're going to keep them in
Keep
this
them in this
game.
game.
That's going to be, to me,
To me,
the
the
determining
determining
factor.
factor.
The
The
Raiders'
Raiders'
offensive line,
offensive
they've got to
line,
do
they've got
better
to do better
protection on Geno
protection on Geno
Smith.
Smith.
Um,
Um,
but it's high potential for upset. I'm gonna take the Raiders on this one.
You know what? If the Raiders were a serviceable, average team, reliable team, then it would be a no doubter. I would pick the Raiders. But guess what? They are not. And nothing in their the last 20 years from the Raiders have taught us that you can rely on them. Geno Smith was a average to good quarterback last year in Seattle. He has his own coach, Pete Carroll. You think things are going to be like, okay, well, we're going to bring this magic here. If you watched that game last week, which with him and the Chargers, he was just throwing the ball up for grabs. I mean, there was nobody open, and he was basically throwing it to two or three. Um, he was throwing it to double coverage. He had I think 3 interceptions inside the opposing team's 20-yard line. That's not winning football, and he's not a rookie. Those are the mistakes that a rookie would make. So if Geno's going to play like that, which I think the Commanders' defense is good enough to make him make those mistakes again, pressure him, and Raiders are still trying to get their footing with their running game. Washington with Mariota and them having Kingsbury as their offensive coordinator, I think they'll call enough design plays with Mariota using his legs. They'll get enough first downs, and then they'll open up the receivers for McLaurin. They'll sprinkle in a little Debo, and guess what? Washington comes away, and they're going to win this thing. What do you think, Chris?
Man, man. So I'm going with Washington, but here's my reason why. Mariota is a dual threat quarterback, right? A lot of people forget that. He can run the ball. What can James Daniels do? Run the ball and he can throw it. Mariota, I think Mariota has enough experience to win this game with just his talent alone. So I'm going with Mariota and the Commanders. So next game, the
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs and the Giants, the battle of the winless. Right? I'm going with the Chiefs. I think they're gonna finally figure it out. You know, they got suspensions and injuries, and I think they can get to the point to where they can beat. This is a winnable game for them. This is a game that they can take control. You got a good defense in Kansas City and um, a good offense. You got Patrick Mahomes doing his thing. You know, him and Kelsey. All he got to do is rely on his players, his teammates, and I think they win this game close game.
Chris, I'm glad you said close there. Uh, I don't think this is going to be a blown out game. I think New York kind of found something last week against Dallas. Now, I mean, people will argue that statement, but but I think Kansas City's also found something. Like you said, they're trying to find out their first win. They're just trying to get in the win column. Their injuries are going to be a key factor, but I agree with you, Chris. I think Kansas City pulls this one out close.
Um, for me, I think these two teams are going in the opposite directions. I think we saw enough of last week from the Giants. They know that they're moving in the right direction. Their offense got kickstarted. Their defense had a few issues in the second half, but for the most part, it was pretty solid. The Chiefs, on the other hand, aging team, they can't run the ball. Kelsey head is not in the game for some reason. I'm not sure if you saw the play or not. The balls It's an easy touchdown. He hits it up in the air, interception. They end up losing the game. These are the type of mistakes that the Chiefs, the championship Chiefs, did not make 2 or 3 years ago. This is not the same Kansas City teams, and you have to let your eyes tell you what you're actually seeing. Not thinking about the past, but as of right now, how does this team look? Kansas City is not the Kansas City that we are accustomed to. Pacheco is not the same. We we're used to seeing that Marshawn Lynch, Marion Barber type Pacheco, but it just hasn't been there. And on the other hand, on the Giant side of the ball, Scalaboo, he showed us something last week in that Giant Cowboy game. I got the Giants winning this thing, and Russell Wilson getting his first win as a Giant, and Malik Neighbors. Oh my God! All right, I got the Giants. Um, Going to the next game, the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville at home, they have all the pieces, and it seems like Cohen, the old offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, has that team set up for success. Um, the Houston Texans, it's like these two teams in the AFC South have always had these type of like unpredictable games, and you don't know who's going to win. It just comes down to whether or not is Trevor Lawrence going to make a mistake or is CJ Stroud going to make a mistake. And I think that Jacksonville is moving in the right direction. I got Jacksonville winning this game over the Houston Texans. What do you think, Chris?
I like Texas. I like Texas defense. I think C.J. Stroud does just enough with what he got. Him and Nico Collins and Chuba Hubbard. Not Chuba Hubbard. I'm sorry, that's in Carolina. Nick Chubb.
True.
They need to get that man the ball a little bit more, and I think they beat him by at least 10.
All right. Look, I told you week one that this is make or break year for Trevor Lawrence. Did I not, Chris?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. However, Texas is a good team. C.J. Stroud cannot be overlooked. Um, I just think, and Texas also has a good, solid defense.
It's
Okay,
up and down.
it is up and down, but the players are there.
Yes.
They have the ability. They just have to continually execute. It seems like sometimes they take plays off, sometimes they wanna, and then they play. Okay,
It's like my fantasy football team. But go ahead, man.
but
You did
uh,
well last week.
but Jacksonville, they went out and got some receivers. They got running back. Trevor Lawrence is playing solid football right now. Um, and until something rattles his cage, I think Trevor Lawrence takes Jacksonville and wins this game. So, all right, we've got the good old Los Angeles Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. Uh, this to me has upset written all over it. Okay.
What? Upset?
Look,
Not no upset.
well, it depends on what team you're going for, I guess, right? I
I
said it
think I
could
think
be.
these teams are evenly matched.
They're evenly matched.
They are evenly matched, 100%, and that's what, as far as history and statistics and expectations for the season, that's what makes it the upset, right? Because nobody expected Denver offensively to be where they're at. Defensively, yes. I don't. Bo Nix has got that offense clicking, moving. They're running the ball, not just him, but the run. They're doing everything. The line is protecting to a certain extent, right? However, the Chargers are playing very good ball. Justin Herbert always has. I think Harbaugh has that team going in the right direction. Um, so I think the Chargers offense was going to carry them to a victory, and I think I'm taking the Chargers on this one.
You know, I always thought you were a smart man, and you know what? I tell you this: you mentioned Harbaugh. Harbaugh, he's won everywhere he's gone. 49er coach took him to the Super Bowl. This could be his year taking the Chargers to the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs not performing the way that they should. And Buffalo, we know they're wishy washy in the playoffs. I got the Chargers in this one. What about you, Chris?
Man, you just put me on Front Street there. Now I get to pick between y'all two, and I'm gonna decide and vote. Chargers, Justin Herbert. That's the key.
Yep.
None else can be said. So now we going down to the nitty gritty. We getting down to the nitty gritty. Right? This is the best game of the weekend, guys.
Oh yeah.
Lions and Ravens. I can't call it. I can't call it because
It's a toss up.
this can be this one of them 50, 51-50 games. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
know who got the ball last? That's what this game gonna be. But I'm taking the Ravens for the simple fact they are rolling right now. They are rolling, and Detroit found out what good defense was in Week 1 against Green Bay. That was good defense. That just shut them down. Then they came back and put a 50 spot on Chicago, right? It was Chicago.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Ravens. I think Ravens is well balanced. They got good defense. They got a lot of power, a lot of speed, and they got Lamar Jackson. Keep them healthy. They gonna win. I think they stay undefeated, baby.
Chris, I'm glad you mentioned some names in there, right? Look, the Ravens' run game is gonna be very very crucial. The Lions' secondary is, to me, very very shaky right now. They have to lock down a lot better. Um, it is a home game for Baltimore, so not going to be an easy task for Detroit at all. Detroit's offense, though, they can put up points. You can't overlook that. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I don't think it's going to be defensive led whatsoever. And I think the key is going to be Lamar Jackson minimizing his turnovers. If he does that, Ravens win. I'm taking Ravens.
Well, it's funny you talked about Lamar Jackson being the guy that's going to determine this game. For me, it's not. To me, it's going to be Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry, he had a great first game. He had that fumble, and then they didn't really rely on him too much in this last game against Cleveland. But you know what? For some reason, on primetime games, he just has these runs, these demoralizing runs, and defenders don't want to tackle him because they know that you don't want to get stiff armed by Derrick Henry on Sunday Night Football. And that's what could potentially happen in this game. The Lions, they were up and down. They played poorly against the Green Bay Packers. They played great last week against Chicago. So will the real Detroit Lions stand up in this game? We don't know. But I can only go off of what they did last week. I got the Ravens winning. The Ravens winning, and it's because of I think Goff is going to be making more mistakes than Lamar Jackson, and then they're going to rely on Derrick Henry. And for the final game, it's the battle of the backup quarterbacks. So hey, anything can happen in these games. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Minnesota Vikings. Um, Your quarterback's going to be for the Vikings going to be Carson Wentz, and you got Browning for the Bengals. Lord, help us. I mean, on one hand, you think Carson Wentz is a vet. He's going to go ahead and do his thing. He had an MVP season, but that was a long time ago. Browning, he has 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He's like the AFC version of Jameis Winston. So, what are you going to do in this game? You know what? You flip a coin, and you're going to say, hey, the home team with the best running game is going to win. I think Mason, the running back for the Vikings, is going to have a big game. It's going to leave things open for Jefferson. I think the Minnesota Vikings win this game, and it keeps Kevin O'Connell, okay going into the following week, and hopefully they can get another quarterback in there. But yeah, I got the Vikings winning this thing. What do you think, Chris?
Well, okay, so I'm doing a little research real quick. I just want to say this: Carson Wentz in his career 50-47 and 1. He's won 50 games. He's lost 47, and tied 1. Then you got Jake Browning, who has stepped in 7 times and went 4-3. Right? To include last week. 4-3 is the game he started. We have an evenly matched backup quarterback situation, even though Carson Wentz has more game time experience. I think this is going to come down to defenses. Who's not going to make a mistake? That's the key. Who's not going to make a mistake? The team that defense that don't make a mistake, you give up a stupid play for a touchdown, or blown coverage that ended up putting somebody in field goal range. I think this is going to be a very close game. Oh man, I'm going with Bengals. I think the Bengals just have too much offensive talent as a whole, and all he has to do is just get the ball to him. Minnesota has a good defense, but I don't know if they can cover T. Higgins and Jamar Chase with Chase Daniels coming out of the backfield. That's a tough little situation, and Minnesota only has Jefferson because Addison is still suspended, and Aaron Jones is hurt. He's out. So, who's more the least of the banged up team? Mace?
Look, Chris, you covered it 100% for me. All right. I think the Vikings defense is a little suspect. They got a good offense, but I don't think Carson Wentz is going to be as much of a factor as everybody think he's going to be. All right. Yeah, they have Jefferson, but you're talking about one receiver to assist the quarterback. Jake Browning has multiple. They're going to have to spread that defense, and that's when Minnesota really starts struggling. I think Cincinnati is just too much this week for Minnesota.
So we're gonna go to a quick commercial break for about 3 minutes, but we're gonna shut down our Facebook and we're gonna be on YouTube, where we're gonna be talking about our this week parlays. We don't do player parlays because over here in Europe it's kind of hard to do player parlays. They don't do that. So we're gonna have our outright wins, losses, and even handicap maybe. So we'll be right back in 3 minutes.
All right.
right now we're gonna go over our game parlays that we're gonna play. We're gonna bet this week, right? So if you are you a sports bettor? You want to just see how we do? This is where we're gonna put it out, and this is how we're gonna do it. Who wants to go first?
Shoot. I guess I'll go first. So, I'm taking Green Bay. I'm also taking the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay. I'm taking the Falcons, and I'm taking the Seahawks. And that's
What's your odds on that?
that I don't have access to my website, Chris.
Okay, I got you. All right, so since I have mine up, I'm taking Atlanta, Dallas, the Seahawks, the Colts, the Buccaneers, the Steelers, Green Bay, Kansas City, right? And my odds are 18 to 1. So for those that understand, if I hit that, that's like for every dollar I get 18, right? So that's a good number. That's my bet for this week. Um, I, the last few weeks I've been kind of narrowing it down. First week I missed two. Last week I missed my bet by one. So hopefully this week I go to miss none. All right. So what about you, Jay?
All right, so um, for my picks this week, I have the Green Bay Packers, the Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And those odds would give me 9 to 1.
So I think your odds are roughly like 8 to 1, eight to 10 to 1. Mason.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
So if you want to play the bets, or you just want to watch what we just did and go back and check us, you can check. Um, like I said, we some sports bettors here too. So this is that time. When you follow us, hit that like button, subscribe to the Long Distance Playbook. All right. Get ready for your games this weekend. Yeah, it is college, baby. We got 15 minutes before college time. So, just a little pop shot back at Jay. I gotta throw at him. Gotta punch him in the gut. Because he tried to sneak San Francisco in this week, but he didn't put them in this parlay bet. So
Oh no,
that tells me he has no faith.
I have no faith in Mac Jones. I ain't stupid.
But
I know Kyler Murray got them boys ready.
so, but I will say this, back on subject a little bit. If you go back and look, right,
Uh-huh.
Carolina in the last 2 years has allowed every team they played in a loss to cover.
Mm.
I'm just throwing that out there. The
There you
odds
go.
are right now is like 5.5. So you can even drop down like probably like 3.5. They probably don't cover. I will take Atlanta to cover. Just throw a little hint, that little handicap. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Also, I like Minnesota, Cincinnati to go under. don't know. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna get to 41 points. I mean 42 points. Another one. I think Baltimore and the Lions. Man, I would open up that. I would open up that number so far out, whatever they gave me, and play the under because I think that game's gonna be out of control. But if they give you a high number like 55 or 56, I might take that. Uh, let's see, San Francisco and Arizona. Uh, I don't know. What do you think about that? I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, I think that the defense for San Francisco is good, but they usually have problems with teams with very good athletic tight ends, and I think they're going to be tough for them to stop. Um, yeah, I see Arizona going over 25 points in this game.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you, Mace?
Well, for the Arizona San Francisco game.
Yeah, well, any game. This is time we got a little extra
Look,
time.
well, look, I was looking at it right, and one I might take is Indianapolis over Tennessee, right? Because uh, he Indianapolis is headed in the right direction. So as long as they can keep doing what they're doing, and Tennessee's got a young, Cam Ward, he's a young quarterback, so he's still trying to figure that thing out, right? And I imagine he will. But that to me, that's a game that everybody should be talking about because if Indianapolis wins, what does that put the record at? 3-0.
Yeah.
Now, generally, I mean, last time I checked, you start off 3-0, you make playoffs pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, put you right there.
So,
Oh,
I mean,
shot. And here's the funny part. Well, here's the one part. This is the first time they're gonna play somebody in their division, though.
right, right. But now their divisions, to me, their division has gotten weaker
Oh,
because
you started to say they sound like the NFC South.
oh, appreciate that. No, no, no. I mean, well, I mean, in the NFC South, you have what? Tampa Bay and my Dirty Bird Falcons there,
That's all
But
you got left.
but no, so
Everybody else a guaranteed win for the other team.
you're not wrong because right now Cincinnati, we talked about the game of the backups, right? But Burrow out, Cincinnati is to me not a playoff team, right? If they make it, they're going to be skating by. It depends on how long Burrow's officially out. So Pittsburgh and Indianapolis are the top two teams in that division.
Yeah. So here's another parlay that I worked out: Washington,
Ooh.
Indianapolis, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Green Bay, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh, and that'll get you 13.
But you do okay. I mean, I can see you
Now,
take one.
I hate to say this. I hate this coming out of my mouth. I almost want to go to the trash can. I kind of like Cowboys over Chicago. In Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would take Dallas over Chicago.
Yeah. So, that's just a gimme right there. That's a gimme over.
Hmm.
Um, uh, when you betting, be responsible with your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be out there betting your life savings and not be able to recover from that. Um,
Yeah.
this has been our aspect of our parlays of this weekend. Um, please, like I said earlier, like, share, repost. Help us grow. If you got comments, we can see them and we will respond to them as much as possible. Okay. Mr. Mace, I want you to take us on out.
Um, once again, thank you for watching the show. We want to give that shout out to Matt Mangum. Please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. Um,
My
he's
condolences to everybody.
absolutely. So,
Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy your football. It is college day. Be safe. We'll see y'all next Saturday. Peace.